Listen, I have no idea how an obscure tenet of Taoism is so important to the majority of China as to stabilize a country of a billion and a half people. Is that we heard nothing. Why is this so important to so many people? Quite frankly, we're not sure how many people in China are today Taoist. We know the party has acted against being religious in general, and there are, as was said in the first half, so many different religions and attitudes and culture inside China. We have no idea why you think this is universal and so bloody important to everyone. What we are saying is that yes, the Chinese government needs to be seen as taking care of the common person. It needs to be seen as taking care of atrocities. We agree. The question is, why this, ladies and gentlemen? I will begin by explaining to you exactly in how much of a precarious situation China is. I'll basically take what first opposition told you and explain to you why it is so very important and why the Chinese government cannot make the wrong decision right now. Afterwards, I will show you two ways in which the Chinese government is increasing social unrest by this. First of all, as I said, yes, by encouraging taking away women from people who feel they need and deserve them, and second of all, the absurdity of acting on this when China is doing so many more horrible things. So first of all, China is socially unstable. In the last year and a bit, China has undergone over 100,000 violent demonstrations. The state is spending more than 240 billion yuan, I think that's the name of the coin, in what they call harmony stabilization efforts. We are saying there is an increasing social unrest that the party understands is tearing the country apart and that they cannot stop it. They cannot stop it. They have to adapt to it in some way. This unrest presents a clear and imminent danger to the state and quite frankly to the people too, because the welfare of 1.5 billion people is dependent on the state. We are saying the state cannot make any mistakes. It cannot make the people even angrier than they are right now. What are they angry about? First of all, yes, women. After the first child policy, it reached a situation in which in some areas you have over 135 males per 100 females. It means that 30% of young bachelors have no chance of finding a wife. You might find it funny, but this is one of the most direct causes for demonstrations, because let's agree with that. Young, horny men who have no chance of getting some are angry. They act against the state. Now we agree, this is a bad thing already, but we are saying that when the state is sanctioning the removal of more eligible females from the dating pool, because yes, they don't have such gay discourse. They don't understand that being a lesbian is not a choice. To them, they are choosing another lifestyle. The government is enabling them to choose not to marry men, to remove themselves from the dating pool. The government is deepening one of the biggest problems that China is facing today. We are saying that the moment they see the party sanctioning an action which is in direct contrast to the need of the common people, then by the logic we've heard throughout here from the government, we are harming stability, we are creating more unrest. Before I continue, yes?
Yes, this wave of gay rights is an opportunity that China must use to show that it is changeable, not only to the world but to the citizens inside. They cannot miss this opportunity to show us the liberal democracies. They're not there.
This is my second point. The absurd of this all. Listen, the people in China slowly but surely understand that the government is doing pretty atrocious things. They are harming Tibet, they're prosecuting Falun Gong, they are doing pretty horrible things. Slowly but surely the people understand. But what they see the government coming and saying the main issue we should fix is not environmental pollution, it is not bureaucracy and corruption, it is not the lack of democracy or the lack of work opportunities. What we are taking care of is the gays, ladies and gentlemen, because this is the largest issue that the info slide told us is not such a large issue because they aren't being prosecuted neither by the state nor by the people. The government is showing itself to be completely disconnected from what the people feel is important, from what the people feel is necessary, from what the people see that the government is doing wrong. We are saying that when the government is acting on a lesser subject, on something which might be bad, but is a non-atrocity compared to the wrong, big things that they are doing, we are saying it makes the party less just. It makes the party less connected to the divine will. It makes the party less right in ruling, and this raises the question of why should the party rule China? And as we said, this is potentially disastrous to China. Last thing, I think that amongst all of this, but I still feel the need to address it overall, we think that, yes, while international trade is important to China, we think that the whole issue is, if anything, doesn't make sense. Because if we agree, if we take the case that international trade really relies on China's stance on gay marriage, then the majority of the world is non-liberal. Not only are China's closest partner non-liberal, and strongly so, but we are talking about Africa. The new Arab states might be somewhat liberal, not in this aspect. I heard Iran is just an opening opportunity feasible for everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, if this is the issue on which international trade and international relations hinge, then we say this is an issue in which China has a better benefit by siding, at least today, with the non-liberal issue. So what am I saying, basically? I am saying that China is in a very bad place. The people are not happy with the government, and for lots of good reasons. What the government is doing right now is, first of all, deepening an existing problem that the people see. Secondly, it is making itself an absurd, as a laughingstock, when they're acting on non-issues, on the smaller issues, while continually ignoring the big issues. We think that all of this reduces the heavenly mandate. This increases social instability. This doesn't really help any international trade, and we have no idea how important it is to Taoism and how important Taoism is to China. So we think it is pretty clear that China shouldn't do this. Thank you.